All right. Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to all you Wakim out there who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believe in on the gospel. And a couple brothers from the Great Millstone Houston camp. I'm the brother Kwara Abad. We got the beloved Elder Taza Pa. If you can hear us, hey, y'all let us know if y'all can hear us on the comment board. Let us know if we good. Baba Kasha. Matter of fact, I'll go ahead and share my screen. Yeah, but brother, sister, yeah, they said they can hear.
Okay, I got you now. Yeah,
okay,
I knew they could, but I didn't have no sound, but I'm good now.
Okay, calm. But so yeah, the Wadi Habashim Al-Shah, we back with another Thursday live, and we got a few things we want to touch on tonight, which this really kind of go be building off what we talked about last week, with the immigrants coming over here, a lot of confusion. And now what we see is that laws are being put into place to even help these, as they would call them, immigrants once they get here. You got squatting laws being put into place to where now they confident, they confident to just go in your crib and take your crib. We got a video we'll play here. In a few, you had this woman, I think in New York, she had some squatters in her house, and she tried to go back up in there. She went up in there, and guess who was the one getting arrested? She was, man. Right? You got them passing laws that these illegal immigrants, which we know that's our people, but look, they niggas too, man. They ain't following you how about Shimi Hawashai. At the end of the day, granted, some of them coming over here, they could be the elect. But you got a lot of things happening, laws passed to allow these people to possess guns. So a lot is going on, and you got in Pittsburgh, we'll touch on briefly, how they saying, look, don't call us between this time for these certain matters. And so what we're saying is that freedoms are being put into place to further get the people in the mindset of the purge, man. As we get closer to the end of the world, it will be less rules, lawlessness. That's what they say, which Yahushua said, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many gonna wax cold. Lawlessness, because lawlessness go abound. And we seeing that lawlessness is being pushed, not just from America and their citizens, but people outsiders coming in. That's gonna bring in more confusion. And we'll kind of end it off too. Let me make sure I'm sharing. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. So Canada about to link their citizens' bank account, as we spoke about many times on the Thursday lives. How eventually the world, not just Canada, but the world go link the citizens' bank accounts with their social credit score, man. And we see in Canada, hey, they about to start. And it's right there to the north of us. Look, they also members of, NATO, so on and so forth, members of the beast. So you don't think the rest of the beast going to do this? And also in America, you have over 200 cities just signed a universal basic income, which we also spoke about last week. So like I said, this will be pretty much a follow-up on some of the topics we had. But Elder Taza Pa, you got it. If not, we can hop into it. But the floor is yours, though.
Con. Is Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless. All right, so as the brother was going into, now United States citizens are being persecuted. That's not even breaking laws. And it's just going to progressively get worse. All right, as the brother mentioned about the one woman taken to jail for going home. People been persecuted, in these blue states, not being allowed to carry guns, despite the Second Amendment, yet the illegals come over here who are not U.S. citizens, and the federal judge declares that they can legally own firearms, own and carry firearms, who are not even under the Constitution. So you could clearly see, if your head's not in the sand, what's going on here. And this is the deliberate destruction of the USA. All right. So, yeah, again, things are just going to get progressively worse. All right. So, again, Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, that make these unrighteous laws. All right. And it says, their right grievousness, which they have prescribed, mean this has been forethought and forewritten and just, put on the back burner for a specific time. And this is that time. All right. This hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. We see it shaping up beautifully. All right. And as me and the brother was talking before the live stream started, this thing can't go nowhere else but into Jacob's trouble. Because Esau used the term kicking the can down the road. And well, I got to quote Boys to Men. Now we've come to the end of the road. There's no more road to kick the can. So the buck, as they say, the buck stops here. All right, we are where the rubber meets the road. You're going to see things go down. All right. So Isaiah chapter 10, verse 2, to turn aside the needy from judgment. The needy are you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans predominantly. And especially here in America, but throughout the world, wherever you may be scattered, and you have the ears to hear this word. So we are the needy, man, and we need judgment. All right, we need justice. All right, so to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right, all right, it's your right to protect yourself, man, protect your family, to make sure that your children and your woman are safe, whether that means to pack a gun or, to own a gun or whatever the hell. All right, but y'all been in the West too long. As Apostle Tahar stated, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans over here in the Western Hemisphere, you've been over here too long. And just like I said Tuesday, Esau came over here. He wasn't concerned with your laws, your customs, none of your shit. He came over here to rob, rape, plunder, and pillage by any means necessary. And you people have gotten so bitch made to where you don't even want to defend yourself. Now, I ain't saying to take up arms, but I ain't saying to be no goddamn doormat either. Now, for a Hebrew Israelite, you defend yourself by coming into this word. The only way you're going to shelter what's getting ready to come down the pipe is for you to get under the shadow of the Almighty. So I don't care how many guns you got. I don't care what type of skills you think you got. If you ain't under that shadow of the Almighty, you done. Done. So to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless. So you got it, Doc.
Now that's it. Yeah, starting off with a bang. That's it. So, so we'll hop into it. And just to kind of even highlight what Elder Tazapah said, and that's a lot of ways Esau go attack the people in these latter days. It ain't just always got to be by the military or him, putting fluoride in the water. No, it's also by the things he signed, the legislation that's being signed, man. To further put pressure on the people to buy into his NWO. But we'll hop into it. Now, this is the first one. And again, last week, there was claims about Haitian immigrants, which we know that's the tribe of Levi, but Haitian immigrants with everything going on over there, Haiti collapsing, the biggest prison just got burnt down. So you got Barbecue, I forget his full name, but Barbecue, the leader, and you got IUIC talking to him. So a lot of confusion just going on. But nevertheless, you got cannibals in Haiti, and they making their way over here to America. just like those Central and South Americans. And look how the Lord doing it. He had in Central and South America, the Northern Kingdom come up. Now they all in California and the borders of the West and over here in Texas. Now you got the West side of America. The Lord having immigrants come over there as well through Florida from Haiti. And also they've been flying immigrants to New York and different parts of the world. So really America is covered with people that's not from here. And I mind you, they don't have America's best interest at hand. These people who are countries, been bombed and destroyed by America, so they're coming over here with vengeance. So let's hop into it. We ain't gonna be too long with it. We'll kind of run through it. I want to play this video. So it says, Rep. Matt Gaetz from Florida does not want immigrants from Haiti and South Florida. He said as much in a statement this week, expressing that he does not want his little enclave of the Sunshine State turning into Haiti. It says, I am calling on Joe Biden to do the right thing and declare an anticipated state of mass migration over water, Gaetz said. That way we could get naval vessels in Florida, straits to deter the thousands of incoming Haitians before they invade the United States. Last we heard, some 300,000 Haitian immigrants, machetes in hand. It's funny, Esau got to paint a picture, machetes in hand, have already gotten a green light to set sail for Florida. Now, mind you, this is not no far-fetched thing. Biden gave the green light to Central and South Americans to come over here. Open the borders. Even we had a couple of weeks ago, Texas and the government beefing because the government and Biden administration said, look, let them in. And Governor Abbott, he said, no, I'm sending my own people, man. And also Florida sent over 1,000 troops to Texas to help. So you don't think DeSantis go send troops to guard his border? So this is going to be more, which could lead to a civil war as well, with states splitting from his own government. This could lead to that as well.
And don't you like the language? All right, Issachar, the Northern Kingdom, come across the southern border, and they're asylum seekers. You got the Southern Kingdom, Levi, coming to Florida, and they invade. You see, and this is all, this is how they play out these narratives to get you or to get the people at each other. Mm-hmm. It's funny how one group can be refugees or asylum seekers, and the next group, whose country is war-torn and in chaos, being ran by gangs after Ariel Henry, the prime minister, stepped down. The gangs took over, and it's total chaos, orchestrated chaos, mind you. And some of them coming here seeking asylum also. But they get labeled as invaders. But go ahead,
Khan. So I ain't gonna read no more of this article. I'm gonna hop into this video because I'm gonna let the video, we're gonna play a few minutes of the video. And if you got some Elder Taza Pod while the video playing, just let me know. Let's see if there's anything else in this article. I'm gonna read this last little part and I'll play this video because it's DeSantis kind of giving some stats on what they caught so far, how many Haitians they caught so far. So I read this last little portion. It says, we are also told that intelligence sources have ordered the U.S. Coast Guard to allow, now this is another thing that's been said in the news, that the Biden administration, just like Central and South America, they've been allowing and telling the Coast Guard, it says, to allow the illegal immigrants headed towards Florida to enter the state unrestricted. They're doing the same thing that they did with the Northern Kingdom, just letting them in. Unrestricted. Some they acting, they catching them to act like, look, we trying to put a stop to it. It's all good. But the majority, they letting them in. And we're going to see, because we're going to touch on this universal basic income that they plan on bringing in. And one of the benefits of this universal basic income is that you don't need no medical, your medical history. They don't need no ID from you. You don't need no citizenship to get this free money. You can just get it for free. So guess who that gives a little power and wiggle room to these immigrants who coming in. And that's what we seeing, again, the Biden administration, man, loading these people up with benefits to further give them a little confidence over the American people. This is going to lead to all chaos because, you know, America don't like to back down, Americans, right? But I'm going to finish it. So it says, we are also told that intelligence sources have ordered the U.S. Coast Guard to allow the illegal immigrants headed towards Florida to enter the state unrestricted, which means that in addition to what is happening in Eagle Pass, Texas, we now have at least 2 separate invasions taking place in America as of now. So I'm gonna put this article in the chat, but let's go ahead and play this video. Let me make sure the sound good. Cool. Check that out. So let's play this vid. So this is from U.S. Immigration, and this was put out 2 days ago. It says it begins. Florida arrests migrants, block Haitian boats, and DeSantis signs 3 new executive orders.
We did interdict the one boat that had the 25 Haitians that were trying to come illegally with guns and drugs.
The Pentagon has just deployed Marine anti-terrorism units.
We have been telling Americans, do not go to Haiti. Do not travel there. It's not safe to do so. And for those who are there, leave as soon as you can feasibly do so without putting yourself at risk.
Chaos and unease in Haiti's capital. This week, the main prison there was set on fire.
Tonight, another migrant landing on the Treasure Coast.
Deputies and Coast Guard apprehending 24 Haitian migrants found aboard a fishing boat off the Florida coast.
In Haiti, gangs and armed militias have taken over the streets and ports.
New laws went into effect in Florida this weekend, courtesy of Governor Ron DeSantis.
I did an executive order where we declared it a state of emergency, and we surged a lot of vessels. Our state assets have stopped 660 vessels in the Caribbean, and we've interdicted 13,580 illegal aliens.
That's what they caught so far. So far. Come on, man. Over 600 vessels with over 13,000 people. What they caught so far.
Haiti, the streets literally on fire as armed gangs have taken over the Caribbean country's capital, burning police stations, shutting down the airports, and storming prisons to free the inmates.
South Florida is preparing for a potential influx of migrants from Haiti.
As we know, there's a mass migration of people trying to get out right now.
Indian River County Sheriff Eric Flowers says his agency and Fish and Wildlife agents intercepted a boat with 24 migrants at the Sebastian Inlet just weeks ago.
Our Ag Marine team is out there actively looking at our waterways and ensuring, as well as our helicopter. We do flights at night looking for boats that are coming in.
Now, this comes only days after the governor announced that he would be sending soldiers, aircraft, and boats to protect Florida from Haitian.
I'm looking at the date on the film. It's 2/29/24. That's recent, a couple of weeks ago.
Illegal immigrants.
The U.S. military is sending an anti-terrorism team to protect the American embassy there. And at the same time, Governor DeSantis is sending more officers and soldiers to South Florida and the Keys. He is trying to stave off any new undocumented immigrants from Haiti.
Coming up. Agents with Customs and Border Protection reported responding to 4 to 5 migrant encounters in the past month. Nearly all migrants on board were Haitian. Governor DeSantis is concerned undocumented immigrants are on the way as Haiti continues to struggle with violence, poverty, and political unrest ever since the assassination of its president, Jovenel Moïse, in 2021. To cut down on the possibility of more undocumented immigrants coming to Florida, Wednesday afternoon, Governor DeSantis ordered 39 additional officers from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, 23 officers and 8 added seacraft from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, 48 guardsmen with 4 helicopters from the Florida National Guard, plus 30 more officers with aircraft and drones from the Florida Highway Patrol. Immigration lawyer Bill Gerstein says it's a real possibility more undocumented immigrants from Haiti are on the way.
Okay, so Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, he says in order to prevent migrants from reaching his state, of course, in Florida, he is deploying more than 250 additional officers and soldiers and more than a dozen air and sea craft to the southern coast of his state, saying that the Coast Guard is lacking resources to interdict a mass migration if it were to happen.
And as a
because remember, we just read in that article, the Coast Guard was told from the Biden administration, just look, don't worry about it, just let them in. Which this is not the first time we heard stuff like that from these people, man. And also, we played a video last week of a sheriff who went to a sheriff's convention of America, and he said how the Biden administration not even in contact with the sheriffs or police stations on certain matters.
As a result, Governor DeSantis is sending over 250 soldiers and officers to protect the state from the land, sea, and sky.
Mass migration concerns. Tonight, Florida politicians, including our Governor Ron DeSantis, are bracing for a possible surge of Haitian refugees packing into boats.
Orderly society, the sheer number of people that have poured in, even if it was all legal, you can't take in 10 million people like this. It overwhelms schools, it overwhelms healthcare, it overwhelms all the resources that are supposed to be dedicated to helping American citizens. And what Biden's administration does is he's really put people here illegally at the front of the line. You know, they can fly around this country without having identification. You would never be allowed to do that with TSA and all this other stuff. They'll put them up in hotels and pay for the hotels in ways that they wouldn't do for American citizens, and then give an update on what we're doing to prevent.
That's pretty much it. And that's what you were just saying, Elder Tazapaya. I throw this in the chat too. But you were just saying they putting the immigrants over American lives first.
Yeah.
With these laws they pass. You got it though. If you was about to speak on that.
I'm gonna go here to Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 14. Matter of fact, let me get verse 11. All right, this is Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 11. It says, "How, ye inhabitants of Maktesh, for all the merchant people are cut down. All they that bear silver are cut off. And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish the men that are settled on their lees, that say in their heart, the Lord will not do good, neither will he do evil." And this is the sentiment of our people. Now, Maktesh is a reference to America today. All right. And it says, all they that bear silver are cut off. But see, you got people telling you, get silver and get gold. And it's nothing wrong with having silver and having gold, but those things are not going to protect you. Those things, matter of fact, will put your life in jeopardy. That's why it says in Isaiah, I want to say Isaiah, that they shall cast their gold in the streets, because it's not going to serve them any purpose. I mean, what you going to do with gold, unless you know how to convert it to be edible, for for the medicinal purposes, because that will come in handy if you got edible gold, because of disease that's going to come up. And this is what the video I sent you yesterday, I believe that was yesterday, with Mike Adams, and he had God dog it, he had what's his name on, and he been on this for years about the destruction of America and all of that, and he go into the scriptures, but he don't know what he's talking about, dealing with prophecy. That name may come to me later. But
it was Steve Quayle.
Quayle, that's it, Steve Quayle. But they were saying, how these wastewater systems are set up for a certain number of people. And you got this influx of these migrants coming over here, they're going to overwhelm the system. And eventually what you're going to have is what you got today. We see it today. People defecating in the streets and wherever else. This is going to lead to disease. On top of all this other mess that's already going around. Now, this is a big ass powder keg that's getting ready to explode. And once it explodes, everybody's in trouble. And this is what the scripture is going to. All right, America is $34 trillion in debt. and somehow you think that your silver and gold is going to hedge you against something, what you going to do with it? Everything is getting ready to go digital. You think you're just going to stroll up in Walmart with some silver and gold? Oh, let me get that loaf of bread. And they going to break you off some change? I mean, what you expect, you think you're going to do with silver and gold? Ain't no venues going to be open. You going to go shopping. So the scripture here is saying, Zephaniah 1:12, and it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish the men that are settled on their lees, you 2/3 niggas of the nation of Israel. It says, that say in their heart, the Lord will not do good, neither will he do evil. Therefore, their good shall become a booty. You see, all that silver and gold you hoarding up is going to become booty. It's going to put a target on your ass. So therefore, their good shall become a booty, and their houses a desolation. They shall also build houses, but not inhabit them. All right, what did the brother just say? I did a lesson on this about a month ago, about the situation in Atlanta, where they took over so many, I mean, hundreds, if not thousands of homes are just being invaded and taken over. You see? The Most High had lined it all, he lined this all out. So it says, they shall also build houses, but not inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards, but not drink the wine thereof. The great day of the Lord is near, it is near, and hasted greatly, even the voice of the day of the Lord. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet, all right, because the trumpet was sounding for an alarm for the people. So it's going to be a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord, and their blood shall be poured out as the dust, or as dust, and their flesh as the dung. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. So the Lord is getting ready to bring a speedy riddance upon the wicked here in America, which is the mass majority of these people here, because none are clinging to the Lord the way they should be, outside of the men, all right, that's teaching the 100% truth. All right, so that even omits a lot of you Hebrew Israelites out there. The Lord is coming back looking for faith. He's not coming back looking for fancy garments, well-spoken men, manicured men, pretty boys. He's coming back looking for faith. He don't care about how many precepts you know and memorize, how many scriptures you can recall. He want to know if you can live by these scriptures. All right, as a man, are you holding it down according to the word of the Lord in your everyday, day-to-day activities, in your day-to-day walk? Are you walking in honor and integrity according to this word? Are you sitting here shucking and jiving, bullshitting, as if you're going to fool the Most High? But go ahead, brother.
Nah, that's it. That's it, Zaquan. That's it. So yeah, I'll go ahead and play this video. So again, we touched on, all these immigrants that's already in America, and there's more coming. So things gonna get worse. Things gonna get worse. Things getting out of hand. Now, also, like the elders highlighting, people getting thrown out of their houses. Since we already talking about Florida, Florida had to pass. They didn't pass the bill yet, but it's in play right now. You know, is in play right now. And so it says for the title, Florida lawmakers pass bill against squatting. But when you read the article, you haven't fully gone through yet. But the thing is, why they got to pass a bill for squatting? Because it's getting out of hand. These people could just go look. And not per se, not just saying the immigrants that's already here. No, I'm talking about Floridians that's just homeless in Florida. They found out the loophole. And look, Elder Tazapah just sent me a video. It's not just them that found out the loophole now. Now it's the immigrants found out about the squatting loophole. So they ready to take advantage of the laws. You see? But in Florida, they had to put into play because because people are given more authority than the homeowners themselves. Now, we ain't gonna play this video right here, but when I put the article in the chat, it's a video at the bottom, and it's this dude, John Williams, which we go play a video of his later on about the universal basic income. But it's a video in this article, and he going over squatters are taking over America, not just in Florida, not just in this one was in another one was in New York. We're gonna play that video. But people are just going to people's homes. If you there for 30 days, they can't tell you nothing. Right?
Hey,
now,
one of the elders had put in the heads chat, it's just like Klaus Schwab stated, you will own nothing and be happy. All right, what did you think he meant by that? All right, this is exactly what he means. He's going, your rights will be stripped from you, and they're going to allow these people to come in and have their way over your life and liberty. How they say life, limb, and liberty. There's no more rights for America. That's why Issachar was saying a couple of months back, they had a little town hall meeting. I'm talking about the illegals coming out of a meeting with certain government representatives or whatnot and saying there's no more money for you. No more money for you. Because they've been promised all of the shit that we got. All right? And you gotta understand this. This ain't shit coming from the government. This is stuff coming out of this money and is coming out of your pocket. Out of your taxes. They coming up in your houses. But you people here settle on your leads. Go ahead, brother.
I'm thinking of a scripture, how it says there shall be also confusion in many places, and that's what we're about to see, which is a sign of the end.
Yeah, brother, I'm sorry.
Now you got it.
No, people should be fucking pissed. Here it is, you struggling to eat, to buy groceries, to put food on your table for your children. These motherfuckers come over here, Eric Adams giving motherfuckers $10,000 gift cards.
Damn.
And here it is, we paying $300-400 for one buggy of groceries. But you got it, Doc. You got it. People out there playing goddamn games.
In 2nd Ezra 5:1, it says, nevertheless, as coming the token, so there's some signs of the end of the world. It says, behold, the days shall come, that the way that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. But iniquity shall be increased above that which thou seest now. So we're about to see a lot of stuff happen. It says, or that thou hast heard long ago. And this is what I'm thinking about. Verse 8. It says, and there shall be, so this is one of the signs, there shall be a confusion also in many places. So much so, look, we're going to play this video. Now, look, you as a homeowner out there, Akim or Aqua homeowners out there, if y'all got your own spot, whatever it may be, whatever you live in, you got your own spot. When we play this video, look, this woman came home to her crib, had squatters in there. When the police was called, guess who was taken to jail? She was. She was. Come on, man, that's confusion. And look, that should be a small issue for the American police force. And they can't even handle that right. And there's many more situations that we don't even know about. Look, out there in California, in San Francisco, you got homeowners out there scared to even walk outside because homeless people are able to just sleep in their yard. Sleep all in the front of their yard, sneak into their garage, going into people's call. You got somebody, going to work in the morning, they open their call, somebody laid on their back seat, man. Now add immigrants to that. 300 plus Northern Kingdom. And look, that 300,000 was one trip. So it was over millions of them here. Ain't no telling who got family here. What MS-13, the gangs over here in Haiti, they got family in South Florida, some of them. But who coming over here? The cannibals, the gang members. And look, that's already Florida. Is a saying, the Florida man. They say Florida. Florida people, out there. But nevertheless, add immigrants to the pot. This thing about to ball over, man.
Come on, brother. And
you was about to say something?
Think about all of the people which we tried to warn y'all. And here at Great Millstone, we warned you. Think about all the people who thought they had this equity built up in their home and stuff, and just to lose it like that. Same with the 401ks and the pensions and all of that. Yeah, that's done. You try to get it if you want. But yeah, that was it. A lot of people is losing big right now because you invested in this bullshit. You invested in Babylon, this filthy skank whore. And you get what you get when you mess with a whore. Burnt.
That's right. So we're gonna move on. So this is another article, and this came out yesterday. Yesterday, hot off the press. So it says from Natural News, outrage as homeowner arrested in New York. And now we didn't read this other article that was in Florida, but when you go down to the bottom, other than his video, it got another story of another woman in March. You see who went through the same thing. But so this is a new one. And we highlight this just to show, look, laws and loopholes are in place to allow these immigrants to have free reign once they get here, man. So it says outrage as homeowner arrested in New York for trying to remove squatters from $1 million home. Now I would read it, but let's just play the video because it's going to pretty much say the same thing.
I'm going to show you a 4-minute clip that took place in Queens, New York, about a woman. Parents died. She's left with a house. She goes over there and finds squatters. And who do you think is the one who gets arrested? 4-minute clip.
You be trying to steal my house. Yes, you are.
How about that? A squatter standoff. A property owner confronts a group of people she says moved into her $1 million home in Queens, and our cameras were rolling as dozens of officers showed up.
Several people were taken away in handcuffs, and one of those arrested may surprise you.
Investigative reporter Dan Krauth joins us now with more on what happened. Tell us, Dan.
Well, this is a very big growing problem. I received dozens of tips from viewers about this in just the past week. I went to do what I thought was going to be a routine interview. Instead, we capture what police and property owners are dealing with on a daily basis.
I have video of you.
On a daily basis.
Right.
Add immigrants to that.
But they're in my house, man. Relax. No. To understand how this day ended,
We need the police right away.
with multiple 911 calls and arrests, we have to start at the beginning. Adele, the hardest question is, how do you say your name? We met Adele Andaloro outside the home her parents left her in Flushing, Queens. She's in the process of selling it.
No, he locked it.
But she's been locked out. She claims squatters moved in on February 6th and refused to leave. What's it like being here knowing you can't go inside of your own home?
It's enraging. It really is.
In New York, squatters have rights after 30 days.
By the time that someone does their investigation and they do their work and their job, we'll be well over the 30 days, and this man will have stolen my home. And now she's back.
Just after wrapping up our interview, a woman showed up. What are you doing in the house? Are you renting this house? Why are you here? She unlocked the front door, saw our cameras, and took off.
It's open. Let's go in the house. It's open.
Adele and her daughter with the property.
So look, this homeowner, this random person came and opened her house when the homeowner couldn't even open her own house. So once the door was open, this homeowner, she went into what she owned and check out what
Deed in
happened.
hand, went inside.
This is my furniture. These are my curtains.
She didn't just find her belongings inside.
There's a man sleeping right there. Get out of my house.
She found 2 men. How long have you lived here?
I moved in about 2 days ago.
They've called the police on me, and I've called the locksmiths. I didn't come in illegally. The door was open.
Police started interviewing neighbors and looking for documents.
Do you have something that shows that you've been here for more than 30 days?
They took the man who told me he had been renting for 2 days out in handcuffs
They got one out.
and escorted the other guy off the property. Now you're afraid to come out.
I'm not coming out. This house is empty. This is my home. My locksmith is on the corner waiting to change my locks. And it's not fair. It's not fair that I, as the homeowner, should be having to go through this.
How you doing? Minutes later, a locksmith showed up, but police gave her a warning before they left.
I may end up in handcuffs today if this man shows up here and says that I have illegally evicted him. I said to them, let him take me to court the way I've been told to take him to court. But today, I'm not leaving my house.
Less than 10 minutes after police left and the locks were changed, the man who claims to be the one actually leasing the house shows up.
Call the police again.
With the other guy, police took off the property.
Do you see this? This guy just literally broke
So they came back.
down my door, broke through myself and my daughter to get in here. This guy just forced himself into my house. Yes, he did. And so did you. You broke through the front door.
The man called the police on her.
So why is it that I have to leave and he doesn't have to leave?
Because technically he can't be kicked out. We need to go to court.
They consider this a landlord-tenant issue. And by law, it has to be handled through the housing court, not with police. If you own this house, you would not want her inside.
I don't own it.
Exactly,
Yes.
she does.
Yes, but then once again, you should know how the law works.
I do know how it works.
There's rules to it. As you got to go to court and send me to civil court.
He says he signed a lease in October, but wouldn't tell us with who.
I got proof longer than that.
Show us the proof.
But who are you for me to show? I showed it to cops.
Dan with Channel 7 News. If you don't want to show it, you don't want to show it.
Proof. Come here, brother. I like that.
I would like to see it. He didn't show me a lease. This is a bill. A bill for work he says he had done to the house. He didn't show police a lease either.
The police department doesn't have the lease? No. He's got no documentation. Just bills.
So Adele, you're getting arrested right now?
I'm being arrested
For what?
for being in my own home.
And
Come on, man. Look, and they go take out. So look, all the information and paper she was pulling out her purse, they didn't care about that. These people, random people, ain't had no information, and she went to jail and they stayed.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Now look, this Americans who know the loophole. Now that Taza Pa, he sent me this video, and I'm gonna read it real quick and I'll play it. It says, "New, a TikToker is going viral by telling illegal immigrants how to invade homes in America, thanks to progressive squatting laws." Let's play it. Let's see. Let me refresh it so I get the sound going, and we can move on after this, and hit that the other stuff. I don't know what a sound. Oh, here you go.
I found out that there is a law that says that if a house is not inhabited, we can seize it.
Que dice que si una casa no está habitada, podemos expropiarla.
Guys, here in the United States, the law of squatting applies. I think that will be my next business, taking over abandoned houses.
Y creo que ese será mi próximo negocio. Invadir casas abandonadas.
Since I have looked up some codes with my African friends, and they told me that they have already took over about 7 houses. My people.
Right? So you see, look, they willing to do it. Now at the same time, I ain't gonna read this, but at the same time, things like this are happening in America, and you got places as Pittsburgh. It says Pittsburgh police. This was put out March 11th, a couple days ago. Pittsburgh police says they will no longer respond to calls that are not in progress emergencies amid staffing shortages. Don't call us. We'll call you. It says, I'm gonna just read this right here. According to the WPXI, calls for theft, harassment, criminal mischief, and burglary alarms will also be handled by the telephone reporting unit. They go send you the AI, a voice to talk to you and ask what's going on. Press 1. You want to, you got this. Press 2. You want to speak to somebody, and it's press 3 if you want to hear it all again. And you just got robbed and you need help. They say don't call us. So things like this are happening while more people not from here are coming. And also you got this put out March 19th. This recent news as well.
Oh, and by the way, that's between in Pittsburgh. That's between 3 and 7 a.m. 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. They will have something like 20 police on duty for the entire city. So yeah, and as Steve Quayle said in that video, nobody's coming to help you. Nobody's coming to your aid. All right, that goes for the police. This is you people on your own. All right. Y'all want your bread and circus and all of that. Y'all didn't want to take heed to the word of the Lord. Now this is coming down on your heads. All right. So yeah, the Northern Kingdom is saying su casa is mi casa. And they using these unrighteous decrees to just take what's yours. And the system is going to back them up. Now I'm going to say this, I'm going to let you have it. Every Negro in America should be pissed, because this shows you what they could have done for you, but just chose not to. And here you niggas been voting all this goddamn time and ain't got a goddamn thing. And they letting these people come over here, they rolling out the red carpet for them, even in illegal activities. They're not being persecuted. They're just given a green light to do whatever the fuck they want. And here it is. All right. As Negroes, we've been over here putting into this system, paying taxes, being model citizens, marching all over the goddamn United States of America. And you ain't got a pot to piss in yet to this day. Now, a lot of these people are our people, but I'm just saying how you Negro been playing by the rules and ain't got a goddamn thing to show for it. And what you done work for is about to be stripped from you. And y'all still worried about who going to the playoffs. So go ahead,
Come on. And add on to that, they saying, look, now they can possess guns under the Second Amendment.
God.
So
yeah,
look,
bro,
they giving them free.
But laugh, man. This shit is fucking ridiculous. But go ahead,
God, so they're giving them free money. Tell them, look, you can stay in this crib if you get around a loophole. You good on the squatting. Nobody mess with them. Just let them in, and they can have guns when they're here. But Americans, you got to go through, a lot to get guns and all that. But anyway, so we can move on.
Exactly, though. So, but guess what that leads to? They can shoot your ass and get away scot-free. If they can have a gun, who they gonna have it for? They gonna have it for you, law-abiding citizens, and all you little mop-head Big Shirley babies. A lot of you niggas need to be shot. But yeah, they giving them those guns against you U.S. citizens. Go ahead, brother.
Come. So that's pretty much it for the various topics portion. Right, and BA said, Shalom Tala Akim Aqua for tuning in, Yahba Shemel Shabrakathum. BA said, don't forget about migrants coming in through California, nobody's speaking about, right? And it was also said, we talked, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. But remember when Greg Abbott first put those, those Texas troops on the border, they said they deterred those migrants, and they started going up the California coast as well, even more. So that brother spot on with that. But now we'll move on into the second portion. Is 200 plus states signed universal basic income, which was mentioned last week. Which this universal basic income is also just gradualism leading to the mark of the beast, man, the MOTB, which is the RFID micro C help. As apostles and brothers said plenty of times, Esau, he used gradualism. He ain't just go come out right, the day, after the system fell or however it may be, and everybody got to get a C help. It may start with a bank card or whatever it may be, or free money or UBI. Because remember when it was that lockdown, what they started sending the people to appease the citizens' wrath from being locked in a house, a stimulus check. Well, that universal basic, or should I say the stimulus check, was a foreshadowing on what they really want to do with this universal basic income. And this goes into what the Elder Taza Pop been mentioning a couple times in his lesson. What Klaus Schwab said at the World Economic Forum, the people gonna own nothing and be happy. You're gonna own nothing and you're gonna be happy. Why? Because you don't have to really work no more, right? Everything will be given for free and convenience. Just have a good social credit score and you good. You go send your money to just chill and not work as much. That's why you're gonna be happy, because we're gonna feed you. But the point is, once the people feed you, now what you're losing? Your privacy. You never had freedom, but what the people thought as freedom, you're gonna have to come under the umbrella of an NWO. And now we see in Canada, that's China, but which China already doing it, and it's its own point, because we said last week Justin Trudeau in Canada, what he said, he admired the model that China laid out for its citizens. And what is that? A social credit score linked to your bank account. Now, a week later, we read an article that says from National News, this was put out yesterday, 3/20/2024. Canada rolling out social credit system. Citizens' bank accounts linked to obedience scores. And we mentioned that episode on Black Mirror many times, right? How you had to agree with everything and just, get by in society. Do what the society say. You can't eat all this meat. You got to follow the CO2 code, so on and so forth, eating bugs. That's what this is going to be led to. And also, it ain't just going to be a stimulus check sent to where you got paper dollars. It's going to be digital. So it might be through, you have to create like a FedNow account in order to get that digital stimulus check. You don't think these people will be quick to go create that FedNow account? But I'll read a little bit of this and I'll go straight to the video and we could kind of wind it down from there. It says our neighbors to the north are implementing a new system called open banking, and look that up too. Remember, certain code words that they'll say, and when you go look it up, a whole nother plethora of things open up on what they're trying to do. So yeah, go look that up. It says our neighbors to the north are implementing a new system called open banking that will link citizens' bank accounts to a new social credit scoring system. In the aftermath of the Tucker convoy and other noteworthy protests against the CV in Canada, Justin Trudeau regime is radicalizing the nation's banking system to make it much harder for citizens to express their voices against political corruption. Proponents of the social credit score linked banking paradigm says it will make Canadian banks more inclusive, allowing them to easily access user data on demand while being able to share information with one another. It says a World Bank partner. So look, the World Bank got their hand in it. The World Bank partner called Open Banking Excellence, or OBE, which originated in the UK, is proudly boasting right now that it will incorporate social credit scores with people's bank information in Canada. Canada will likely receive digital cash and identification. So digital cash and digital identification, which we spoke about, that digital IDs, in a convenient, all-in-one and inclusive place. And that's what they're going to push everybody towards. As you see, moving towards, as you see, it says moving towards a cashless society. Canada ain't the only one. Now, mind you, Canada is a part of the beast. You don't think the rest of the beast going to do it? And that whore on the beast, you don't think she going to do it too, which is America? China already getting down. You see Russia with BRICS, they getting busy too. This is where the world going, man. And it ain't just that it's digital. Every country is going to a digital society, but they linking your identity and your social status to that bank account. So now on how you, as man, it's been spoke about many times, how you do in society, if you don't buy in, your credit gonna be bad and you're gonna be cut out of society. That's Revelation 13 and 15. How it says, if anybody don't buy in, he gonna kill you. And when you're going to kill, it could be literal kill, but he could cut you out of society, man, if you don't buy in. And now that's gonna be possible because your bank account gonna be linked to your social credit score, which gonna be linked to your digital ID. All on one. And I'll read this last little point and we'll play the video. It says, moving towards a cashless society. So it says, disturbingly, OBE already operates in some 40 countries. So Canada ain't the only one, and they're not even the first one. This already going on in 40 countries. It says, claiming that it aims to create exceptional platforms and content that promotes knowledge, sharing, new thinking, and partnerships within the industry, catalyzing the option of open finance and data for better financial inclusion worldwide. And it sounds good because they want to say, like they said, the World Economic Forum, leave nobody behind, as if we don't want no poverty, no poor people, so we just want to, give people money so everybody could pay bills. It sounds good. I'm going to get a quick precept. It sounds good. But the point is, as Esau giving you these free things, he's further or closer closing in on you, man. Real quick, this is what he do. This Sirach chapter 12 and 15 in the GNT. It says, an enemy will stay with you for a while, but not when trouble comes. He will speak fine words while he plots how to trap you. Inclusion. Inclusion, we want everybody to be included. You're going to own nothing and be happy. Right. He will speak fine words while he plots to trap you. He will pretend to share your sorrows. We don't want no poor, suffering people. It's like, look, right here, they try to paint a picture on why they giving free money. And look who they use, niggas. Hundreds of citizens or cities experiment with giving people free money. And look at what they say. This is why. It sounds like they want to help. A massive social experiment is quietly taking place in some 200 American cities. Gradualism. What happens if you give poor people hundreds of dollars a month with no strings attached? We ain't gonna go into this article. I'm gonna put in the chat. Y'all can read it. But look, they acting like they want to help the poor. You see?
Colin.
You about to say something?
No. Go ahead, bro.
So it says, Sirach 12 and 16, he will speak fine words while he plots how to trap you. He will pretend to share your sorrows, but he will kill you if he gets a chance. It says, that's pretty much the point. Oh, and I'm going to read 17 too. It says, if trouble comes your way, right, he going to create a situation. He going to make life hard, inflation and so on and so forth. If trouble comes your way, you will find him waiting, ready to trip you up while he pretends to help you. That's what we're seeing. He waiting to trip these people up while they think it's helping. It's not going to be help, man. Because you're going to have to give up your rights, your God-given rights, in order to get a little free money every week. Come on, man. But if you ain't got to find out this quick, man.
Gone.
A little portion of it. Now matter of fact, before we hop into that, I want to read what UBI. Well, I ain't gotta read it. It's universal basic income. I'm gonna just read this. It says universal basic income. Now, this is from a website. It says from NLC 100 years. Basic income in cities, a guide to city experiments and pilot projects. So what they've been doing, passing out. Oh, and in Harris County out here in Houston, that's one of them. They started in January. But it says universal basic income, or UBI, is a cash payment granted to all members of a community on a regular basis, regardless of status or income level. It is meant to be individual, unconditional, universal, and frequent. So they're gonna spoon feed the people. And I want to, I'm gonna get in Egypt. This happened in Egypt too, but they had to give up a lot even themselves, and that's gonna lead to people willing to take that MOTB. But I'll go ahead and play this quick video.
That's the end game, of course. It's the MOTB prophesied in Revelation, the 13th chapter. It's the reason why James Brown put that song out back in the day. I don't want nobody giving me nothing. Just open up the door and I get it myself. And he understood the principle of Proverbs 22:7, all right, which says, the rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. And again, I brought this out, a week or so ago. That's called communism. Yeah, everybody's on the same page. Everybody get the same thing. That eliminates all of the competition and the stunting and all of the shit Jake like to do. No more money phones, all this old dumb shit. That put everybody on the same level. And that's Esau's way of creating peace. But at the same time, he's holding all the chips.
Mm-hmm.
He has the autonomy. He can go all over the world, pollute as much as he want to pollute, have a carbon footprint big as Africa. And that's all good. But as you just mentioned, they don't even want you so much as eat a steak. All right, but they can cruise all over the world, fly all over the world, do whatever they feel like doing. And they think that's fixing to go down like that. That's why Job 20 says, when he is about to fill his belly, he think he just really fixing to have it going on. But he's going to have a rude awakening. All right, and it's going to look like Yahweh Shai and the heavenly host, consisting of 144,000 pissed off black men. And so, I hate to be on the receiving end of that, on the business end of that. But that's what Esau got to look forward to. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. Yeah, it's a reason for this, for the universal basic income and all of this. I always got niggas on, the face of begging. You niggas always the face of begging, which Israel get billions of dollars from America every year. But they just savvy and shrewd businessmen. They just do good business. But when it comes to us, we beg. But go ahead, Doc.
Yeah, that's all I got in this article. Our people,
yeah,
Northern Kingdom's niggas.
Yeah.
Look,
he's smiling and shit. Big Shirley right there with the red braids. Auburn and red braids, all of those dumb shit. Jake sitting up there with a suit on. Just cooning.
Man. And look at the sign in the back. Guaranteed income works. National treasure.
Guaranteed. Hey, see? Yeah, this is incrementalism, or if you will, gradualism.
That's it. Yep.
To bring you to the MOTB. Just like the dope dealer. Give you a little taste. Yeah, the first hit on me. Go ahead and enjoy yourself. Then he know you're going to get that addiction and be coming back. This is what Esau banking on. He's going to give you a little taste of this free money, which you're going to perceive to be free money. And then it's going to go to the micro CHIP.
That's right.
Soon after that. You got it, brother.
I'm gonna read this one little paragraph in here because they blatantly telling you this is a test. It says these cities are running pilot programs, that's tests, that typically give randomly selected people $500 a month for a year or two to spend as they please. They collect data on the broad policy initiative, which could replace the current complex patchwork of social welfare programs with much simpler guaranteed basic income. So look, they just setting the people up. Hey, that's why they ought to start it off with they have wrote grievousness, which they have prescribed. These things are already in least plans. They just need situations to be put into place to implement them. Let's play Elon Musk real quick on why the world need a universal basic income.
Right. Yeah, that's a good one.
What to do about mass unemployment? This is going to be a massive social challenge. And I think ultimately we will have to have some kind of universal basic income. I don't think we're going to have a choice.
Universal basic income.
Universal basic income. I think it's going to be necessary.
So it means that unemployed people will be paid across the globe.
Yeah.
Because there is no job. Machine, robot is taking over.
There will be fewer and fewer jobs that a robot cannot do better. Okay. The harder challenge, much harder challenge, is how do people then have meaning? Like a lot of people, they derive their meaning from their employment. So if you don't have, if you're not needed, if there's not a need for your labor, how do you, what's the meaning? Do you have meaning? Do you feel useless?
Right, and look,
what to do about mass unemployment?
What to do about mass unemployment? Look, they're gonna feed you money. And this is the thing. That's what Klaus Schwab's statement means a lot. They're gonna own nothing and be happy. Look, you can go buy the stay in the house. You ain't gotta work. Just go buy the Apple goggles. Stay in the house. Use your Apple goggles. You know, Ready Player One. That's it. Look, you got Grand Theft Auto 6 supposedly coming out next year. Stay in the house and do that. Right. It's all good. You got a check coming next week, right? Buy all the drugs you want. Just live it up. It's all good. At the same time, he plotting to come down hard, man, with great wrath.
And Esau was breaking down how, with the Chat GPT, they been making this big deal about the AI. You just, you type in something and it'll create a whole video or scenario. Like they had the little Moab, the Moabites walking through the city, and all somebody had to do was just type in, Chinese woman walking through the city, and they create the whole scenario, and people just enamored about how real it looks. Well, Esau was saying, yeah, this is the precursor for the Matrix. So it's funny you mentioned about the glasses. So they got you stuck at home. You sick of looking at them four walls. You want to escape reality. You put on the AI glasses. Go anywhere in the world, no carbon footprint. And then it goes from there, which the Lord ain't gonna let it, till you being in a pod inside a matrix. But yeah, all this shit is diabolical, dystopian bullshit. But I just say I'm glad I got this truth. Come hell or high water, my blood got to be shed, whatever. I ain't letting go of this truth. Fuck what Esau talking about. Fuck what this world talking about. Yeah, it's better than for me, this is me. It's better for me to die than to live like this. And what they trying to push society, so I'm gonna strive for this truth and to death. Fuck Esau. Yeah. And the horse he rode in on. Fuck this shit. And you heard it from me. Well, go ahead, brother.
That's it. And I'm gonna get this account real quick. And I was gonna play this video. And again, this from John Williams. We had him, not had him as far as a guest, but we played him a few times on the Thursday Live. Now he was going into it, and he do some good explaining. It's an 11-minute video. He was going into how 200 plus cities just signed a universal basic income. I might play a couple seconds of it, but I want to read this account because this is not the first time as what we're speaking on. This is not the first time this happened. As the scripture says, nothing is new under the sun. And we're in that second Egypt, right? But in the first Egypt, the same situation went down with our forefather Joseph. You know, when the money failed, the people was crying out to the government. Help us, please. We need help. So the government, as we're going to read, Joseph was giving them, look, spoon feeding them. And they was used to it. And they kept coming beg for more until they was willing to give up themselves. Modern times, that's gradualism. They're going to be spoon feeding them. And then what's the giving up yourself in this time? Putting your hand on that table and getting that seat up, man. So this happened before and it's going to happen again. Of course, not the same way, but the money going to fail and the people going to run to the government for handouts. And that's how they want it. Let me read this real quick. This is Genesis 47:13. And it's the NLT. It says, meanwhile, the famine became so severe that all the food was used up and people were starving throughout the land of Egypt and Canaan. And by selling grain to the people, Joseph eventually collected all the money in Egypt and Canaan. So look, the government, because Joseph was technically, a part of the government in Egypt. So he collected the money, just like Esau doing now, coins and dollars. That's the old news. You're going digital now. Granted, Joseph and them ain't go digital. The money fell. We just liken it to modern times. It says, so Joseph eventually collected all the money in Egypt and Canaan, and he put the money in Pharaoh's treasury. And when the people of Egypt and Canaan ran out of money, when dollars ain't work no more, it says all the Egyptians came to Joseph. Our money is gone, they cried. But please give us food or we will die before your very eyes. Look, we ain't got no money. Not saying them in modern times, inflation going up. You see, people ain't got unemployment, so on and so forth. Immigrants getting better deals than Americans. They go cry out. Biden administration or who else? We need money. It says our money is gone, they cry, but please give us food or we will die before your eyes. It says Joseph replied, since your money is gone, bring me your livestock. Now we see where you're going with this. Bring me your livestock. I will give you food in exchange for your livestock. What Klaus Schwab said, own nothing and be happy. Granted, our forefather Joseph wasn't doing it with the mindset of the elite, the wicked elite. He doing it in a mindset of preserving Egypt at the time, but really it was to preserve the nation of Israel. But he's using this format of taking from the people and then giving to them. These elites gonna do the same thing in these times. Take from the people and give to them. Own nothing and be happy. It's gonna be gradualism till they give up themselves, man. It says Joseph replied, since your money is gone, bring me your livestock. I will give you food in exchange for your livestock. So they brought their livestock to Joseph in exchange for food. They got government assistance with giving up their personal belongings. It says in exchange for their horses, flocks of sheep and of goats, herds of cattle and donkeys, Joseph provided them with food for another year. He gave them money. Food to let them get by. But this is the thing. But that year ended, and the next year they came again and said, we cannot hide the truth from you, my Lord. Our money is gone. All our livestock and cattle are yours. We have nothing to give but our bodies and our land. Look, we ain't got nothing else. It says, buy us and our land in exchange for food. We offer our land and ourselves as slaves for Pharaoh. What's the modern day of doing that? Getting that sea help. So when money failed, people ain't had nowhere to go but to the government. Eventually, it came down to a time they had nothing else to give up but themselves. They bought in. They bought in. It says, just give us grain that we may live and not die, and so the land does not become desolate and empty. And when you read it, Joseph, he said, all right, cool. He put them into, well, I read it, he made slaves. So Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh, and all the Egyptians sold him their fields because the famine was so severe, they owned nothing, and soon all the land belonged to Pharaoh. As for the people, he made them all slaves. So they was living on an ancient UBI, an ancient universal basic income for a while. But then eventually, look, they had to give up themselves. Modern day sea help, man. And it says the only land he ain't buy was the land that was allotted, to the priests. But nevertheless, them people wouldn't have to work as slaves in certain parts of Egypt. That's like being sent to a concentration camp, man. So we see this happen before. The people in Egypt depended on the government for handouts when the money failed, eventually giving up themselves. Gradualism leading to the MOTB. Right here, they're giving people handouts. 200 cities just signed universal basic income. It's going on right now. This was put out 6 days ago. 6 days ago. This in America right now, over 200 cities, man. Let's play a little bit.
On here, universal basic income will now become a federal policy.
Pilot programs testing out guaranteed income are popping up around the country.
It's being tested in dozens of pilot programs across
That's some of them right there.
the country.
Jerome Powell, Janet Yellen, IMF, many billionaires have been speaking about a universal basic income and about the affordability crisis, record high inflation, and what we can all do to work together to combat this big issue. When you look at Minnesota, for example, they have just enacted a $100 million program to offer universal basic income.
Minnesota's
Oh, and they ain't just giving this to you just to give it. Yeah, it's required. It's certain stipulations into it. As far as you can't use it on this, you got to use it on that. Yeah, I know it's for transportation, but you can't go buy a car with it. You got to use it on a bus or the trolley. They putting the people mindset on. We give you this free money, but you got to abide by our rules. Social credit score, so on and so forth. You ain't getting our free money just to live your best life. No, you got to do what we say.
The borrower is subject to the lender.
That's it.
Democratic leadership now proposing a sizable guaranteed basic income program.
Asks for $100 million for 2025.
$100 million. This came out 2 days ago.
Now I'm gonna jump a little bit. I'm gonna jump a little bit just to make a point, because he said, because as we've been speaking about immigrants, and we can end it after this, Zaquan, if you ain't got nothing else, if you're cool with that. We've been speaking about immigrants, and the thing is, these little basic income systems that they about to set up or even have already set up can benefit these illegals as well, because you don't need no information to get them. Just sign up for it. They're gonna drag the people in, man. I'm gonna read this real quick. It says, so this is from his video. It says, to date, there are more than 80 municipalities across the nation that have instituted some form of UBI for select residents. It's going on. And again, I'm gonna put this video in the chat. Baba Kashah, watch it, if you spark your spirit to do so. It says the program will provide direct monthly cash payments of at least $500 for 18 to 24 months to Minnesotans receiving public benefits or with an income at or below 300% of federal poverty guidelines. Now it says it also calls for the creation of community of practice basic income cohort that would aid local governments in startup and implementation phases of their UBI grant program. So they tell us it's going to be gradual, which gradual only goes so far because we know he got a short time. This is the point I want to get. It says one caveat of the bill, language that irked some Republican legislators, was in prohibition on any grant receiving governments or nonprofits from, because look, it's nonprofit organizations that's going to be giving it to these people. So it prohibit them from requiring any other income. So they don't need to know how much you make. It says any other income, proof of residency or citizenship. You don't need that. Or identifying documentation of any recipient. You don't need it. Just get it. Buy in and get it. And look, you good. That's what they're pushing on the people, man. And again, we just read in Genesis, it's going to lead to the people giving up their property, giving up their assets, and all at the end, giving up themselves, man. That's Revelation 13. He calls of all. You see? But that's pretty much it, Zaquan. You got it.
Because while all people shit on the scriptures, which is what they do, Esau used this knowledge. Esau is well versed in these scriptures. Oh yeah, and Barry Burkholder, he posted that comment. I don't know if you pulled it up or if it just popped up. But he's saying in Canada that Justin Trudeau is trying to get Bill 63 passed to make the Bible hate speech. Now we know that also, ain't that in Canada where if you offend anybody, they lock your ass up.
Mm-hmm.
If anything you say online offends someone, you can go to jail, not just overnight or for a few days, but they giving you serious time just because you hurt somebody's feelings online. I want to say that's also in Canada. But there things are getting Twilight Zone out here. I ain't have nothing.
See, I got one from BA. Now I just read what BA posted. Isaiah 31:1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong. It says, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And a lot of our people going to go to Egypt for help, and it's going to backfire them. See? But yeah, that's pretty much Isaquan. You could take us out.
Yeah, with that, we pray that you brothers up there, whatever sisters is watching in the faith, were edified. To the next one, we want to give again all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahushai, B'Hashem Chafadash. The honors to the elders, apostles, bishops, deacons of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect. All right, to the next one, Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom.